Hey everybody, so today I want to show you something that honestly changed the way that I think about food altogether. We're going to take whole grain berries and turn them into sprouted flour right here in the kitchen. No complicated equipment, no confusing process, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to do it yourself. Let's dive in. So every whole grain berry is made up of 3 different parts. You've got the bran, which is the outer shell, the germ, which is essentially the living embryo of the grain packed with nutrients and healthy fats, and then the endosperm, which is the starchy center. Now, when you buy regular flour from the store, what you're actually getting is just the endosperm. The bran and the germ have been completely stripped away, and with them go the vast majority of the vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Then manufacturers turn around and add a few synthetic vitamins back in and put the word enriched on the label. That's conventional flour. Now, even if you're milling your own fresh flour at home, which is already so much better, whole grain still contains something called phytic acid. It's what's known as an anti-nutrient, and what it does is bind to minerals like iron, zinc, and magnesium in your gut, and actually prevents your body from absorbing them. On top of that, grains contain enzyme inhibitors that make them harder to digest in general, and this is exactly where sprouting comes in. When you sprout a grain, you're triggering germination. The grain essentially wakes up and it comes alive. In doing so, it breaks down the phytic acid, neutralizes those enzyme inhibitors, and converts starches in simpler sugars that your body can actually use. The result is flour that's easier on your digestion, higher in bioavailable nutrients, and lower on the glycemic index. The other thing I love about this process is how versatile it is. You can do this with all kinds of grains, legumes, lentils, wheat berries, spelt, einkorn, rye, kamut, chickpeas, you name it. And the equipment is very minimal. All you need is a wide mouth mason jar, some cheesecloth, and a dehydrator or your oven, and a NutriMill grain mill. So let's walk through it step by step. The first thing that we're gonna do is soak our grain. I'm working with 2 cups of hard red wheat today, but you can use any grain that you prefer. So now I'm going to pour my filtered water, it's about room temperature, into my jar. And you want at least double the amount of water as your wheat berries, because our wheat berries are going to soak up every last bit of that water, and our wheat berries are actually gonna fill the rest of the jar once it's all soaked up. The reason I use filtered water is that the chlorine in tap water can actually interfere with germination, so it's worth the extra step if you can. So I'm gonna put my lid on, and I want it fully closed. I'm just gonna shake it around and make sure all my wheat berries are completely wet. And then I'm gonna let this sit for about 8 to 12 hours. I usually like to do it overnight, and then it's ready for me in the morning. Once the soak is done, drain it completely through your cheesecloth, rinse the grain super well with fresh water, drain it again, and then prop the jar upside down at an angle in a bowl. It keeps air moving through while any remaining water continues to drain out. So now we're in the sprouting phase, and the routine here is really simple. Every 8 to 12 hours, you're going to rinse the grain, give the jar a really good swirl, drain it completely, and then set it back upside down in the bowl. The reason we do this so consistently is that the grains are actually live at this point. They're generating a little heat and moisture, and if you skip rinses, that warm, damp environment turns into the perfect conditions for mold rather than sprouts. Somewhere between 12 and 24 hours in, you're going to start seeing these tiny white tails emerging from the grain. And honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the whole process. But here's something really important to know. For making flour, you actually want those tails to stay short. We're talking roughly the same length as the grain itself, just barely peeking out. You're not going for the long green shoots that you'd see on sprouts in salad. The whole sprouting window from start to finish is usually somewhere between 24 and 48 hours depending on our grain and how warm your kitchen is. And if at any point something smells sour or you notice any fuzzy growth on the grain, go ahead and toss that batch and start over. 9 times out of 10, that comes down to either skipped rinses or not draining thoroughly enough. Once your sprouts are looking good, give them one last thorough rinse, and then you're going to spread them out in a single layer across your baking sheet. If you're using your oven, bring it down to the lowest temperature it'll go, ideally around 150 degrees, and if your oven doesn't go below 170 or 200, just crack the door open a bit to let some of that heat escape. Now remember, you're drying these slowly, not cooking them. and that distinction really matters. Plan for somewhere between 6 and 12 hours in the oven, and if you have a dehydrator, that's honestly my preferred method. Set it to 125 and let it run for 8 to 12 hours. Doing this method is much more consistent and you don't have to babysit it. The reason keeping the temperature low is so vital is that once you get above 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, you start breaking down enzymes and nutrients you went through all this effort to activate. That said, don't lose sleep over a few degrees. Even if your oven runs a little warm, you're still getting dramatically more nutrition out of this than anything sitting on a store shelf. So to know when they're fully dry, take the back of a spoon or knife, push down hard on it, and if it explodes, that means it's ready, and if it just kind of flattens, that means it has a little bit more water in it than you'd like. If there's any softness or chew left in it, it needs more time. Once they're done, let them cool completely to room temperature before you move on to milling. And this right here is where it all comes together. I like to use my NutriMill Harvest grain mill, and it's genuinely what I recommend for this. All you have to do is pour your dried sprouted berries in, run it on the finest setting, and what comes out on the other side is this fresh, incredibly fragrant flour that smells nutty and is almost a little sweet. The difference is how it bakes and how it feels in your body. Once you make your first batch, you're going to realize just how approachable this whole thing is, and honestly how much that you've been missing out on. All you have to do is start with 1 jar of grain. That's all it takes to get going. And if you have questions, if you try it and you want to share how it went, drop it in the comments below and I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.